We're recording. What's going on YouTube? Crazy Aiken Dress, and today we're back with the 7 of the Nerd Talk. And as you guys can see, Matthew is finally back from the dead. Like I mentioned in the last 2, he was really busy with school and everything, and I fully understand that. I mean, school can be really busy sometimes in finals and everything. So welcome back, Matthew, to the 7th episode of Nerd Talk. So the last 2 were with Emily and Haley. They were 2 lovely ladies. I enjoyed doing them. I enjoyed doing the Nerd Talk with them. Today we're going to be talking about the entire season 2 of Mandalorian because it's finally over, but there's still a 3rd season, and by the end of the episode we'll be talking about all this other stuff that they mentioned at the Disney business meeting, whatever you want to call it. And I always started the episode by saying recipe to Jimmy Bullock. We know it's another family member of the Star Wars family. If you guys don't know, Jimmy Bullock played Boba Fett and the Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith. And of course, and I really hope that where he passed away, he saw his character back coming from the dead in the episodes, I think it was episode 6 of The Mandalorian. So hopefully he did see his character coming back. So rest in peace to Jimmy Bullock. And I want to say right now, happy birthday to Samuel L. Jackson, mixed with himself, Nick Fury in the MCU, and all the movie he did. So I think Samuel Jackson is the guy that has the most movie because he has so much cameo and like action movie title to his name. I think he's one of like top 3 with the most movies. So like I've heard it to the legend himself. I think he's 70. Really old. He's in the 70s. All right, so we're starting the episode by talking about the entire season 2 of Mandalorian. I want to tell you right now, if you haven't watched one of the episodes, there'll be spoilers. I mean, huge spoilers because we're talking about the entire season 2, and we'll also mention at the end after this the Book of Boba Fett, which is a series coming back. Which I was watching the last episode, and I was watching a watch party with Sarah Siri, and people were like saying end credit in the comments was spamming it. So I was like, is there any credit scene in Mando? So I wait for it, and then they said the Book of Boba Fett. Right after the episode comes out, I'm going to go to talk with people. I always do that to talk about people in the episode, and people were saying it's a book. I said no, it's probably a show because if you probably notice, every episode of the Mandalorian are chapters. Chapter 1 to chapter 16, which means the Book of Boba Fett will continue this. So what are your thoughts about, first off, just real quick, what are your thoughts about the Book of Boba Fett, and what do you want to see in that show, which I'm really excited about to see?
Okay. Oh my gosh, the scene with Boba Fett coming in and taking out Bib Fortuna, sitting down on the throne, that was a powerful scene. Like, it's kind of reminding me of episode 6, like Boba Fett standing very close to the throne and getting very it's almost like he's trying to get on his good side so that one day he can take over. I don't know if anybody else felt like that while watching. Boba Fett is one, though he works for himself, he wants power.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he is going to... I don't exactly know how to explain this, but I almost feel like the Book of Boba Fett will kind of be like him taking over like trades and everything in Tatooine or everything going in and out of Tatooine. Yeah. Like that, the concept of it kind of sounds like a little like whatever. But the way Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been working, especially with The Mandalorian, Clone Wars, that is going to be an amazing series. I cannot wait.
Because if you remember back in, like, I think they mentioned more so than the Clone Wars, but like the Tatooine was the hut and that controlled the entire like trading stuff. So Tatooine is a really important planet when it comes to the guys and everything. Of course, Mr. Timira Morris is gonna come back, and I can't say her name. Min Na Wen, which was the girl I was creating, I forgot the character name, will be back. And it's going to be produced will be by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Robert Rodriguez coming back, of course, from Mandalorian. And this will be set up within the timeline of Mandalorian. So, big chance. So, here's the thing. We're getting Mandalorian Season 3, and we're getting the Book of Boba Fett. So, I'm just saying that those will probably merge. And this is coming in December 2021. So I'm guessing, and Mando Season 3 might come out in like this around the same time, maybe. But if they do that, they'll have to make sure they'll confuse the fans of like what is happening when. And if they do, like, imagine just this: they release episode to both the show at the same time, and every Friday we get 2 episodes instead of 2 shows. And then they'll try to tie them together, which I think that's what will happen because if it's in the same timeline, I mean, Boba Fett will probably be in Mando season 3, and Mando will probably be in Boba Fett season 3. Season 1, whatever. I'm guessing that will make sense. I think.
One thing my a friend of mine came up with, as we were talking about the season finale, is he made a connection to Jango Fett and Zam Wesell with Boba Fett and Ming-Na Wen's character. I can't remember the name to save the life of me, but the parallels between those two, because Jango and Zam were a pretty big team.
Yes, they were.
The more legends of Star Wars, and not specifically in the movies, but they were always so tightly together, and so I love seeing that with Boba and the other character.
Yes, yeah, that was really awesome, and I mean, because here's the Boba Fett was known through a lot of the original trilogy. He had in Empire Strikes Back, he had like a cameo. I guess he just walked with Han Solo being kryptonite, and that's pretty much it. And yes, in this movie, we like the first 20 minutes, 25-ish, we see him, and he dies. And I was mentioning this to people. Imagine if Boba Fett would have been on that ship, and then he would have seen Luke. The reaction, that was going to be starting a feud, and I think that would have been funny to see, like Boba Fett seeing his killer itch whenever he survived. I mean, I think it would be hilarious to see. Like,
there's so many memes online of that, and they get me every time. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. And then you mentioned the Star Wars legend. Here's the thing: there's so many books out there, and I mean, a lot of them that are canon of Star Wars, but there's just too much to read. There's so much, and I mean, like an example, they mentioned this in season 2 of Mando, and I was Operation Cinder. That was in Star Wars Battlefront 2, the campaign that I mentioned before. They mentioned this in Mando, so which means that what we see this in the Battlefront 2 campaign is probably around the same time that we see it in Mandalorian season 2. So that kind of like, connects to each other. Yes, the campaign Battlefront 2 was canon, but seeing this, and don't forget, we also see Luke in that moment. So I'm wondering when we see Luke in Battlefront 2, if it's around the same time that we see him in Mandalorian season 2, the final episode. I mean, I think that's connecting like to each other.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I haven't played Battlefront 2 for a while. I'm gonna have to get right back into it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the beginning of Battlefront 2 takes place right as the second Death Star is exploding.
Yes.
And so you kind of have to think, okay, so Luke went to, I can't remember that planet, with Dell.
Bicycle.
Yes, yeah. And then they found the Emperor's chests and everything like that. And Luke
there was this treasure thing.
I can't help but think, maybe is that the compass to finding other Force sensitives? Is that?
That's what people mentioned. That's what Sir Theory mentioned. Yeah, that I think that's what it is, because that was, we never mentioned. We never knew that was, and I think that would make sense because yes, he was building an generation of Jedi. Now the question is, and I hope, did Kylo kill Grogu? And I think a lot of people are asking this themselves right now because, of course, Luke took Grogu to this Jedi temple. We all know that Kylo kind of like, took a big dump on it and killed everybody in that temple. So now, did Kylo? I'm gonna ask you: did Kylo kill Grogu, or did Grogu ran away?
I'm thinking Grogu would have gotten away. I as much as I love Grogu, I can't tell myself, oh no, Kylo would take him, because I do not think for a second Kylo could have taken Grogu. I do not believe that at all.
Because like between that moment that he takes him and like when we see him in Force Awakens, there's like 20 years. And don't forget, that is Yoda was the most powerful in White Jedi at this time, and it's so if it's a species of Yoda in 20 years, he's gonna be around 70 years old. So he would be really powerful if you think about it. He would be really powerful. So maybe he got. I hope he probably did escape. But now the question is, where was he in the sequels, the prequels? Like, where was he? If he was alive, because he would have been a big asset to the to your businesses and everything. I mean, that's just too much of a question. I don't think he would have died. And I think if he did, I'm pretty sure No Favreau or Dave Filoni, whatever, will probably mention it at one point. I hope they don't mention this. Please don't. Just don't, because I don't want him to die. Because I think if we do, because Kylo Ren and Poe, like I mentioned in first Nerd Talk, were the two characters I actually kind of like from the the prequels. I love Kylo and I love Poe. Poe was like a knockoff of Han Solo, but he was lovable. And Kylo was a great villain, but they kind of fuck him over because they did him wrong. He could have been much a bigger villain, but whatever they did with that trilogy, whatever. So yeah, but if they ever come to me and they said Kylo killed Grogu, I don't think my love for Kylo will probably go away really fast, honestly, because nobody wants Grogu to die. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna.
I'm sorry. Going through each of the episodes of Mandalorian season 2, starting with the Marshal. What your opinions on it?
I forgot what's the name of the actor that played the Marshal himself, because I don't know who it was, because I know I saw him in movies before. I loved it. So first episode of season 1, we see Mando the end of the bounty, and that will open the entire show. Season 2 comes out, and he tried to look for the Boba Fett armor, and I think we all thought that when we first saw him, it was actually, here's the thing. I had the first thing, and I thought, oh, that's Boba Fett, but the armor, the way they put the clothes, that's not Boba Fett. Boba Fett doesn't wear red capes. I was shocked. I think at the moment, that was my favorite episode. That episode was so good. It was just fast paced, and I forgot the big monster that he killed, but that was the big monster we see in New Hope when we see in the desert. That was that same monster. I forgot the name of that huge monster, but really good episode. The action was really good. They started the show really great. And yeah, I mean, it was back in back in October. And then of course we get a cameo from Boba Fett at the end of the episode, which was, and people were like, "Is it Rex or Boba Fett?" I said, "No. Don't give me a hope. Don't give me a hope that it might be Rex. That is Boba Fett." I wish it had been Rex, but no, that was obviously Boba Fett. But people were just like, then I said, no, it's Boba Fett. It's not Rex. Stop saying it's Rex. Yeah. What about you?
To be quite honest, I think we're going to see Rex. I think the Ahsoka show is going to be a perfect time to see Rex, especially with also Sabine, Ezra, Thrawn. I'm positive
probably Sean,
the main thing. Season 2, episode 1, The Marshal. That I feel like that was a perfect reintroduction into the Mandalorian world and everything like that. It had the child. It had the gunslinger type of ways. It had just the Mandalorian interacting with the Tusken Raiders and everything like that. That was great. That
was really, because I haven't seen much of them. We did some I guess cameo from the original trilogy and then the sequels, but that was the most we've seen of them, and the way that they work together, that was honestly so interesting, because we all thought they were bad people. Watching the origin movie, the prequel, they were bad people. They always did some bad stuff, but in that first episode, we see them being actually useful, and I don't know where hell Mando learned that language, but he did. So yeah, I mean, that was really good to see. All right, what's
chapter 10, The Passenger, with the frog lady. The Mandalorian has to her husband and everything like that. We have the destruction of the frog lady's children by Baby Yoda.
Yeah, and people were so mean towards Baby Yoda on the internet. People were so mean, and that made me laugh. There were so many memes about that. And I want to say right now, I love the alien kind of stuff in that, and then of course with the eggs and everything. That was literally just look, we had some stuff for aliens in that episode, which I think was really, really amazing. Aliens, one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. Not the newest one, but the old Aliens. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't love the Lady Frog so much. I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one. Like, and in my opinion, that was mostly like a filler episode in a way, you know, because it was more like, okay, we're gonna get, you need that frog lady to tell you what your inches 1 hours with Book 10. Of course, we knew episode 5. I didn't have much love for the frog lady, honestly. It is what it is, I love the episode. I love Baby Yoda eating those eggs was just the cutest thing I ever seen. Just he was hungry, like poor guy. And somebody mentioned, what if he just puts them in, like he eats them, but he tried to save them so they don't like die, and he can. Somebody did mention that.
That's interesting because he wasn't like eating it in the sense like he was taking bites of it. He was just sucking it in. So
somebody mentioned that on Meagle, and I was like, that's maybe. I mean, listen, I will probably never know, but
that's a really interesting concept. Then seeing the ice spiders or something like
that was creepy.
That was creepy, but it was so cool to bring in something old from Star Wars canon. I knew I saw those before, and I was like, where did I see those? I used to have this like really big Star Wars canon book from back way before Disney had even planned on buying Star Wars, and I was like, I recognize those, and they were originally from Dagobah, and I was like, they're from Dagobah. Does that mean we're getting a big Yoda thing? And unfortunately, we didn't. But you know what? There's still hope. There's still hope.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. There's probably so much weird shit we didn't see on Dagobah. I mean, that planet was just full of like wild creatures. So, thank God we didn't see more. Because if that was in Dagobah, there's probably bigger stuff. And like you said in the first 10 minutes, there's always a bigger fish. So I don't want to see what is, I don't want to see what's, what's on that planet. Yeah, I don't want to. All right, what is next? Episode 3?
All right, episode 11, the Harris. With Bo-Katan. We are on the world of the octopus people and everything.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah.
Known for giving me half a heart attack whenever the guy pushes the Baby Yoda's crib type thing into the.
Yes.
No, why would you do that? But
yeah, no, that was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, listen, Bo-Katan on. Okay, so I don't think nobody expected to see her in that show. No, with Ahsoka we had a lot of expectation because they talk about it so much. Boba Fett, yes, but they never mentioned Bo-Katan. And I didn't know, but apparently it was the same voice actress that voiced her in the Clone Wars and Rebels. But she looked just like, I was just there sitting down, and she takes her helmet off, and I don't recognize the face. I didn't know the actress, but I recognized the voice. I'm like, what the wait a minute. So I go on Wikipedia, search the episode, search the actress for the episode, go on her name, go on television, and yes, she's the voice actress for Bo-Katan and of course in Mando, and I was like, damn, she actually looks like herself in the actual show. I mean, of course, they probably had a red hair there that was probably added, but their face looks just like her, and I was so surprised, like how did they do this? And that one was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, the lovely. If you didn't know, she appeared in Jurassic World as the lady. I forgot her name because I haven't watched the movie in a while, but yeah, she's going to direct this. So what did you think of that episode?
Oh, I loved it. I loved the scenes with the Mandalorians going in, taking out all the stormtroopers and everything. Yes. I love. If there's one thing I love watching in Star Wars, it is destruction of stormtroopers. That sounds really bad to say, but it's hilarious.
It is. And we didn't get the worm scream though. We didn't get it. We didn't.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but everybody being blown out the air shaft or whatever like that was.
Yes.
That was just fun. That was funny. Moving on. Chapter 13, the Jedi.
All right. Oh, you forgot 12, I think, the Siege. Did you?
The
one I was reading about.
I'm sorry.
Let's
So
talk about it.
sorry.
Okay, so
All right,
Siege.
once you get
That was directed
Ahsoka.
by the legendary Carl Weathers. Now, I'm a huge fan of him. Of course, he appeared in the Rocky movies, and of course, he's an actor of the show. But seemed now we all know about Kevin, the guy in the background. That was a meme for like a week. I
Eugene's
love
dad.
when yeah, I love when the stuff like that happened when it's not like it was not meant to be, but it's just there, like that guy in the background just sitting there with a t-shirt and jeans, like you know belong here, buddy. I love the episodes. And we went back on the same planet that it was at the same planet that we see on Rogue One where Darth Vader was with was that the same planet with the lava? No, actually, no, sorry. That planet that they were on is actually the same planet that we see in the Battlefront 2 campaign again, where Lando and I forgot the other guy named the big blue head. I think that's the same planet that they went to.
Really?
Because they even in the campaign they mentioned that was an old Imperial base, and that's what they also mentioned in that episode. I think that's the same thing. Anyways, I love the episode. Grief Garda and Card were back there. It's a really nice episode. Fast pacing again. A lot of Stormtrooper kills again. Of course, you had Kevin in the back, which what was he doing there? Who knows? So what did you think about the episode?
I loved the episode specifically because action. It was definitely a filler episode, but
Yes.
it wasn't bad. I really liked it. I always love seeing Cara Dune kicking some ass and like that. That's always a joy to see. Then seeing all the references to like the M count in Baby Yoda's blood with the midichlorians, I assume they were talking about. Then they have all of the test subjects, which I assume was eventually going to be something like Snoke.
People say the blood for Yoda was for Snoke and Palpatine. People are saying that they used it because he had such powerful blood, and the Yoda species were really powerful. They're just force sensitive, and really for. So, I think we'll talk about this later. But I have a theory about that I talk about it with the Yoda blood and everything. Now that we have the blood, I think it gets more clear. I just want to say for the rest of the prequel. I think that if that is the thing they use, then now we actually know, like a year and a half later, how they brought about Palpatine. That was kind of late to the party to explain, but if that, I hope that's what they did. Because if it is, then I think that we'll talk about it. All right, next.
So now moving on to Chapter 13, the Jedi.
Okay. Number one, Michael Biehn, aka Kyle Reese in the original Terminator. Huge fan of this guy, plays Lang. Okay, I want to say this. We talk about it like in the forward nerd talking thing. We did their presentation for episode 4, season 2 of Mandalorian, and I talk about Ahsoka so much, in the first episodes we did, and so the episode starts right away. Ahsoka. They don't mess with us. Just boom. Episode starts 2 minutes in. We see Ahsoka fucking kicking ass in live action. We're sitting down. So of course, the episode starts action packed, and the entire episode is action packed, and I love it. The only thing I think a lot of people are complaining about here is her stuff right here. They're like chili made, and they're not long enough. Listen, I know people. I mean, I hear some people mention about it. Like it was like Omegle. People were like, "Oh, you're not too long enough," and I'm like, "Okay, still, but we still get Ahsoka in live action. Who cares? I don't care if they're long enough or not. It's live action. Maybe it's different than a cartoon. I don't know. Anyways, love the episodes. And love Deanna Lee and Sunto as Morgan Elizabeth. Of course, the bad guy that works with Tron. Now we never seen her before, and here's one problem I have with Ahsoka is when she fought in the end. That was not Ahsoka fighting style, that we've seen in the Clone Wars Rebels. I don't know. I know the floating direct episode, and of course the floating. He wrote the episode. He created Ahsoka, so I don't know why. He couldn't get that accurately. I don't know if there's a reason behind it, but I was a little disappointed about the fight which he was fighting. So when you see her like in season 7 of Clone Wars, where she fought Mando, that was entirely motion capture, and that was one of the best I've ever seen in Star Wars. Why not just bring this into Secret Dawson and just do that with her? Anyways, I was a little disappointed, but I mean, I'm still happy to still caught live action, and I can't wait to see the show. What did you name of the episodes?
I really loved the episode. I loved the mystery behind Ahsoka and everything like that being there, because the Mando, I feel like we were kind of in the Mando's shoes. We don't know what we were expecting whenever seeing Ahsoka again. Of course, we have all of the history and everything like that goes around Ahsoka, but we didn't know what we were getting into with a live Ahsoka. Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe her views have changed since the Clone Wars or anything like that. Maybe for Rebels. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about Rebels there, but maybe there was something that changed her fighting style or something, because I feel like Ahsoka gave Filoni's child almost.
Yes.
He
in a way, I'll agree with that.
He made us fall in love with that character. So I'm thinking if anything would have changed, he has a reason behind that.
No, because he created her. He can do whatever he wants with her, honestly. So
exactly. Unfortunately, it's getting to be about that time for me. But I think we should do another episode covering the rest of the Mandalorian episodes, because there's so much to unpack with these next few episodes.
Yes. Yeah, there is. All right. So anything else we're watching? So what we'll do is it will be part 1 of the Mando / all the Star Wars shows that are coming. Because there's a lot of Star Wars shows coming. They announced 10 of them. I was expecting like 3-4 shows, and then 10 Marvel, 10 Star Wars in your face. And I was like, what the hell? So yeah, anything else we're watching the show. If you guys enjoyed, of course, obviously leave a like, and I'll leave, like always, Matthew Instagram in the comments and description. Sorry. And if you want to see a nerd talk with 4 of us, let me know in the comments. I think it will be a nice, nice fun to do. Me and Matthew will both host, and then Maddie and Haley will both be our guests on the show. I think else watching. If you guys enjoyed, different job alike, and subscribing want to see more nerd talk, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Yes, and video. We're back with a part 2. So what we decided to, we had to go a while ago when we started the episode. Now we're just gonna record the rest of the episode, which is at night, and we're put them together. So to be constantly from a while ago, we were at chapter 14, the tragedy. Again, so this episode I think we see Boba Fett at his best in the entire show. Because we had a little cameo for him, again, I said in the first episode of season 2, which again was such an amazing. It was like a 3-second cameo, but was enough to excite all the fans. We're all excited. We're like, yes, we finally see Boba Fett. And for chapter 3, we see him at his best. We see kick ass, finally get his armor back, which I think we're all just satisfied. Like finally, he's back in his armor. So what did you think of that the episode?
Oh, episode 14. It was an episode I never saw coming, to be quite honest. I thought they were going to leave Boba Fett at the cameo that he had in episode 1 of season 2. But bringing him into this episode was perfect. Lots of action, lots of just kicking the shit out of the stormtroopers, which was just amazing. Getting to see like the one stormtrooper with the yellowish paint on his uniform, that was interesting. I really liked seeing that. That was a nice break in the plain white and black, but seeing Boba Fett take on his armor again and start kicking the crap out of the stormtroopers, I almost kind of felt like he was like, you guys don't deserve to wear this armor. This is the armor my brothers wore.
Exactly. I mean, it's his part of armor. He just painted over, which it's. And Jango Fett was a true Mandalorian, and yes, they did mention last episode. I really love when Bo-Katan says your donor in the last episode, which is true. I mean, she did hear a lot of clones talking during Clone Wars, so that was such like a nice little details. I mean, it was probably like easily noticeable. People have mentioned, yes, he's a clone, of course, but they did mention, somebody mentioned that Boba Fett had a different aging than the other clones that, that there were clones. So that's why that Jango Fett took him as his son. I mean, it's his son. I mean, every clones he's the father of all the clones, Jango Fett. But he took him as son because he aged differently. So that's why he was not that old. Because in Return of the Jedi, that old dude in the end of the movie, that's Rex. It was mentioned that was confirmed to be Rex. So of course he looks like he's 80 years old. But that's 5 years later. But technically, Boba Fett is older than Rex in a way. No, or around the same age. So, well, I mean, they're probably around the same age because between, actually no, Rex would be a little older. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I mean, again, it's
not necessarily. I mean, he may be older in just age, really, but Rex wasn't. I don't believe Rex was at the Battle of Geonosis.
He was not. No, he was not. Cody wasn't too.
Wait, Cody was or Cody wasn't?
Cody wasn't, because in Revenge of the Sith he mentioned that he missed the Battle of Geonosis, and then Obi-Wan said, "Yo, you didn't miss much. I almost got killed by a big monster," whatever he said. So.
Oh, all right. I have to go back and watch Revenge of the Sith. Gosh, it's been too while.
There's so many stuff that are mentioned in this movie. They're so easy to miss. There's so many stuff mentioned in that movie. Again, it's probably the best of. Well, it's the best of the sequel, obviously. But yeah. All right. Do you have anything to say about 14? Oh yeah, and so many things. I mentioned this. So when Grogu calls, he calls a Jedi. We all know this. Somebody pointed out, and that kind of makes sense now. So I'm going to talk about Russell's character. Sorry for all the haters. Wait, Russell's character, when we see Luke and Leia having the Jedi training when they're younger, and they both take their helmet off. Somebody mentioned, and that makes sense, that when they take their helmet off, they sense Grogu. So that's why this somebody mentioned that, and I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but if that is the true, that makes sense, because the Luke that we see in the end of last episode is pretty much the same age that we see him in that little cameo in Rise of Skywalker when they're doing Jedi training.
I've never thought about that. That makes a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense. Again, I hope they confirmed it, because if it does, then again we get more, because listen, there's so many. Like, I always wonder what was that scene about, and if this is actually confirmed and true, then now we can finally understand that scene in that movie, because it was like we're just. Yes, I know, like Lou was explaining to Red that we're doing the last day of the training, but if that makes sense, then Luke probably went on and get Grogu, and then he left the giant table, because Lou did mention it was the last night of the training, of her training. He was training his sister before he went train another generation of Jedi. So maybe Grogu was the first that he got for his new temple. So that would, I hope they confirm this. If they do, I'll be happy to hear this. But what do you think of that?
Really interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's really interesting. I hope they mentioned that. I hope John Favreau said that's true, whatever. And if that was meant, then good job. I'll be happy for this.
There was. Let me see if I can pull it up really, really quickly. At the end of the episode, whenever Boba Fett has the armor on and he's showing Din that the armor does belong to him.
Yeah.
It's speaking on how Jango Fett was the original owner of the armor.
Yes.
And it says he was a foundling. And it I don't remember the exact name. Let me see if I can pull it up really, really quickly here. Darn, I don't think I can pull it up quick enough. Anyways, but there was a name that was thrown around that basically has been brought into canon. I guess it's the people who took Jango Fett, and like the specific name of the people who did.
Okay.
But that was a really cool Easter egg and everything.
Yes, I mean there were so many Easter eggs in Mando, which I really love. Like it's full pack of Easter egg, and it's just thanks to John and Dave Filoni. It's just they say Star Wars. Like I think we can, after that season 2, we can safely say that they saved Star Wars. It just from annihilation. Like I don't want to talk about the last trilogy because we talked about it enough about it last episode, but yeah. So yeah, it was really nice episode. Again, we saw Boba Fett is best we ever see him. At least he didn't die this time, or die kind of because he never really died. But yeah, episode 15 is Believer. At the time that episode was out, that was my favorite episode. Action packed. I love Bill Burr as makes me feel. Of course, that we returning from the episode 7 of the first season when we're in the prison, and when we got a little cameo from Matt Lanter, which voices Anakin Flores. I'm gonna be honest. I hated him back when we first saw the episode 7, and now we all love him. He was so lovable in that episode. And when they're saying and I want to talk about this, and I'll ask your opinion about this. He took his helmet off for the first time, since the last episode. But I mean, it was just a robot. IG-11 was his name, I think. The robot then. Yes. IG-11 saw his face, and then now Bill Burr character saw his face. The first human ever to see his face since he was like 10 years old, since he got taken by the Mandalorians back in the days.
Right.
So, what was your reaction of like him going that far? I mean, that far to break his code to save Grogu? Because that was a big moment.
I mean, I think it goes even a little farther than that. Like, it shows how far Din is willing to go to save Grogu, and that was something we didn't talk about whenever talking about episode 13 or chapter 13, the Jedi. What was your initial reaction to hearing Grogu instead of just Baby Yoda?
I'm gonna say this, and I mentioned that earlier. It was I have to give credit to John. I think he said John had his name for a long time. To give him like such an original name, nobody would have guessed the Grogu for his real name. Nobody. That was it's just such a weird name. But the thing is, I went on Amigo. People still call him Baby Yoda. I think like Baby Yoda will always be his name. Not his official name, and that's Grogu now. But I just find it funny because, and then people even called the show the Baby Yoda show because they can't pronounce Mandalorian or whatever, so they call it Baby Yoda show. So I think Baby Yoda will always be a Star Wars fan favorite. Even though he's only been there for like a year and a half or 2 years now. Oh, no, not even like a year and a half. Yeah, we're not even a year and a half. He's a fan favorite, and I love the name. I think it's original, like it's real original, which I think is really nice to see. And it was hilarious to see for the first time hearing his name, and then when we see Metal live, when he goes through, he just looks like this. That was such a we see Metal live. He has, that was really nice. What was your reaction to hearing Grogu?
Honestly, hearing Grogu, I mean, it really reminded me back in the day of whenever you were first just watching Star Wars and learning all these new names.
The first ever Star Wars I watched was Revenge of the Sith. I was confused. I didn't know what I was watching. I was like 6 years old. My dad's like, "Well, listen. I was born in '77, the same year as Dad." And how long did it took me to understand like 4, 5, 6, 1 to 3? That people can't understand that. Like being trying to explain as good as you can, people can't understand. No Star Wars fan can understand the way they did the movie. Anyways, Revenge of the Sith was the first Star Wars I watched, and I remember seeing, hearing the character's name. I remember being scared of Yoda for some reason because he looks scared with everyone's younger. Like, yes, I remember when I first watched Revenge of the Sith. And and now as a young adult, old teen, I watch all the Disney, even though they're not the best. So, but I wish I was born in mid '90s, so I could have watched that that trilogy, because I still love Phantom Menace and I still enjoy Revenge of the Sith. Attack of the Clones is just out of the way, but I really enjoy Phantom Menace because I told you because of Darth Maul. I wish I could grew up and being 10, 11 around those movies. I could watch them in theaters. I was born in 2001, which was 2 years after Phantom Menace came out, and a year before to cringe Attack of the Clones. But it is what it is. I mean, I can do nothing about it. But yes, they're great memories for the first time. And first time watching ever movie are just life memories. Even though I don't enjoy them like Last Jedi, Russell's character, there's still gonna be I still enjoy Star Wars, and I still enjoy watching the movie. Not mean that I love the plot, but I still enjoy watching Star Wars movies. So they're life memories for me, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, it hearing Grogu really reminded me of back in the days of whenever I was first getting into the Star Wars universe, hearing all of these weird names and everything like that, and Grogu just fits that perfectly. Anyways, moving back on to chapter 15,
Yes.
having Din take off his helmet to learn the location of what's his name?
Of Mocha and Ship.
Yeah. And so it was really, it was really just heartwarming to see how much he cared, and for a guy who seems like he doesn't care.
Yes, he really cares for Grogu.
And it was interesting to see what Din was going to do whenever fighting off the pirates in the stormtrooper armor, because he actually had to care when fighting so that he wouldn't get hit with a blaster bolt or something like that. But to be honest, it was just a perfect episode if you just like action.
Yes, it was perfect, and I love Pedro Pascal acting. I think was the best in this scene, because when he has his helmet up for 6-7 minutes, you can see in his face. You could see Jin how he was panicking. He was not there. And I'm honest. I think when he doesn't answer the Imperial officer, it's not because he's faking. He's really panicking. It's not because he's trying to not answer because he doesn't want to talk. He's actually panicking. This never happened to him before since I was 10 years old. That was a big thing for him. And I don't think he ever, when he told his helmet up when I don't think he would have thought that the officer would have go see him and he had to show his face. So that was such a good acting right from Pedro Pascal. Again, that was just I feel so bad for the dude when he took his helmet off and when the operator was there. And then of course after that, Bill's character said, "I never saw your face," and moving on. And so that was
and the ending was just so good. How they were just like, you did
the charge. And that was fan service. That was the was it called Sonic Charge? Is that what it's called? The Boba Fett, the bomb that goes to the Boba Fett.
Giving a call back to Attack of the Clones.
Yes, that was fan service right there. I love that. It was just sound, man, just so great.
I saw the charge coming out of getting ready to be thrown out of the Slave One, and I was like,
they're dead. They're not surviving this. I mean, Obi-Wan was lucky to survive this on this too. So that was, again, more fan service. All right. Here we go. We're here at the last episode that aired.
One more thing I want to touch on.
Yes.
In chapter 15. Yes. I want to know your reaction to Din's speech given to Moff Gideon when he's saying, "This child means more to me than you will ever know."
I want to say this. Okay, that was like tear dropping. That is so true. Number one, we know now how far that Mando origin went from for Video, how much it means to him. So yes, obviously that's 100% true. See, when I was watching the episode, that was out of nowhere. I didn't expect the episode to end like that. That was the perfect way to end the episode, and then episode 8 started. Boom, action packed right from there. Seeing that was just surprising. And, I was watching the episode, and if you be honest, I'm feeling that Jin is connected to Grogu by the Force. I think we can all agree on this by now that Mando is connected by the Force. And I want to go far as saying he's Force sensitive, but I'm pretty sure he's connected strongly. Just like Rex and Ahsoka were connected, as an example. Oh, yeah. They're really, really close now. And again, like I said, Grogu is basically, Mando's son at this point, And in season 3, I don't know what's the hell's happening in season 3, but we'll see. And it was just such a tear-dropping moment when he said he meant a lot more to me. He ever did it to you. When he says that, and then you see it Moff in his face. He's like, oh fuck, I just messed up. That was just so hilarious, honestly. So yeah, that was a nice speech. Again, Jon Favreau just wrote the best show of all time. So what do you want me to tell you? I mean, every bit of that show was just perfect. There's no one bit of that show Up to 16 episodes. There's still 8 more coming probably. Put Boba Fett. There's nothing I said I hated. There's all perfect for me. So, yeah.
All right. Here we go. Season
So,
finale.
again, The Rescue. All right. I think we all cried. I cried. You probably cried. I don't know if you cried, but I know because, like I said, I was watching Cyrus Theory. He was doing that watch party, and I was not about to cry. But when I saw him start crying, because, like I said, if you guys don't know Cyrus Theory, I recommend you watching Going Straight if you love Cyrus. He's a huge Cyrus nerd. He's 31 years old. His defense he was 5. Just go watch his channel. He was watching the episode, and we'll already started. Well, I talked about this about the end because that's the end of the episode. Episode starts. We see Bo-Katan coming back. I was not expecting to see her back on the scene. I was. It was a little surprised. I mean, of course he's gonna get all the help he can, of course, to get back. Real cool. And Bo-Katan and Koska Reese too. Koska Reese. Can't say her name right. We're both at the cantina. I love, like I mentioned earlier, the way that Bo-Katan says you're a donor to Boba Fett when he talks about his father. That was really like a nice little details. I mean, yes, like OG Star Wars fan knows what he's talking about. Maybe like new Star Wars fan, they don't know what she meant, but we do. Of course, he's a clone. And yes, because last time we see Bo-Katan with a clone was mostly season 7 of the Clone Wars on the stage of Mendo. There was nice new details right there. What did you think of the start? What would you think of the feud between Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, and Koska Reese?
I kind of felt, I'm not gonna lie, I felt bad for Boba Fett. Her throwing such shade at Jango Fett and everything like that. And think about it in real life. Anybody says anything bad about your family, you're just gonna be like,
oh yeah, that's
fuck up.
yeah,
But I mean, going a bit further, talking about Jango Fett and talking about his brothers, the clones. Whenever she said, "I heard your voice hundreds of times before," it's like, dang, you're throwing such shade. You just have to feel bad for Boba.
Oh yeah, I mean you do. I mean his dad got killed by Mace Windu.
It was good. It was really good.
It was really good. All right, the middle part. I loved it in Endgame, and we got this in middle season of that last episode. Girl power. I fucking loved it so much. That was such a 10, 15 minutes of just girl kicking every clone's ass like it was nothing. Like the team in between. So we had Cara Dune, of course, the Marshall. We had Koska Reese, Bo-Katan, and Fennec, Sean. Was for Boba Fett. Those 4 kick ass. I mean, they just kick ass. I was watching episode and I was like, damn, like you can't get enough of this when it's happening. So that was such a nice moment. What do you think of that girl kicking moment?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. The way, even the way they were talking to each other and the way they automatically was like, okay, we're a team. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the way they spoke to each other, joking around too sometimes.
Yes.
When Cara Dune's blaster jammed, she just kind of was like, you know what? Screw it. Picked it up by the barrel and started smacking the clone.
Yes.
Around, sorry. And then they're all like, are you sure that's going to be okay? She just bounces it off the ground. Okay, it's good.
Yes, that was honestly amazing. All right. Then the next part is when we see Boba Fett fighting. Okay. Now we finally saw some dead troopers. I was so happy to see this. Of course, they were in. I think they were in Force Unleashed. I'm pretty sure they were in there. I know they were in the whole Republic, but those were 3rd generation. Those were new that we never saw before. I love the little fight between the Terminator 2. Of course, everybody mentioned that the Terminator 2 collab. It was amazing. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator 2 and James Cameron. That was a nice little touch again. Like this season 2 has so much callback to other movie. Like episode 2 it had the aliens. This one had Terminator 2. That was literally just the same thing happened. It was just amazing. Boba Fett kicks ass, and I love when he got punched in the face. It He was not breaking his helmet. He was breaking the wall behind him because he can't break that. That was a nice touch.
I was just about to bring that up. Not gonna lie, sitting there watching the episode, each punch, I felt that. Somehow, I just felt that. I was like, holy crap. And not seeing the helmet give way at all, that was just a great, and it was comedic. His head was just going further into the wall.
No, that was. I mean, he felt that. He definitely felt that. Even though he had the helmet on again. Okay. Now I'm gonna mention this, and I felt this. So I know everybody mentioned that before. So we see, in Mando beat both getting ass, like with his spear when he had a lightsaber. I'm gonna be honest. We finally see somebody use a lightsaber next season. I was waiting this season 1, like I was waiting for him to use it. We finally see it. Badass. I'm gonna be honest. When Moff says to Mando, "You can take a child," when he said, "I don't want a sword, I just want a child," I thought he was gonna stab him in the back, and he would not die, but get hurt really bad, and maybe the other would save him something. Like I thought he was gonna get stabbed in the back, like actually stabbed, and I was wishing myself like, please don't, please, and then he saved himself because he's Mando. Of course, he's not gonna get hit from behind, but
and. I think we all knew Moff Gideon wasn't just gonna didn't walk out of there with the child.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we all saw that coming miles away. That's such an old trope,
yes.
But their little fight was just cut, clean, and concise, and it was great. It was great. No unnecessary anything. It was just great.
It was great.
Not gonna lie though, I still was kind of hoping for an Ahsoka versus Moff Gideon. But I'm not gonna complain with what we got because it was just so good.
Mm-hmm. That would be great too, honestly. And somebody mentioned to me on Amigo, and instead of that, the reason that Moff Gideon tried to hit him in the back, because Moff Gideon knew he wouldn't have beat him in a one-on-one combat if he was to face him. Moff Gideon knew that man would kick his ass, and he tried his best to try to get his guard down, but that didn't work. That's why he hit it from the back, because he knew he would have beat Boba Fett, because he knew Boba Fett obviously is better at combat than him. So now the next part is like the most convincing stuff ever. So of course, Mando gets a lightsaber, comes with Moff Gideon to see the Bo-Katan, everybody, and then she can't take a saber. Now I know we mentioned this before, and Rebels, Sabine literally gives her the saber, and she accepts it. Now, so I mentioned I went on YouTube, New Rockstar, which I really enjoyed watching, mentioned that didn't make sense, of course, because I mean she literally took it for Satine, like, okay, thank you, bye, I won't live with it, and then Moff Gideon, of course, took it back. So here's the thing. So apparently Satine was at the same clan as her in a way. She was like but Mando is a completely different clan than Bo-Katan. They're not the same Mandalorian clan. She's from the Dead Watch, and I forgot what it's called, but anyways, they're not the same clan. Sabine was from the Death Watch, apparently. So that's what somebody mentioned. So that's why she took Sabine like that, but she can't take from another warrior as another race, not race, but another species of Mandalorian. So I just want to tell everybody that I was confused about that. Yes, it was confusing watching it first. I was like, why can't she take it? That's the reason. Sabine was the same clan as her, and Mando is not. So that's why he didn't take. She can't take it from Mando himself. That's just were confused about that, because I was confused, and when he mentioned that, I was like, oh, now that makes sense.
First time watching through that, before actually looking into that, I was like, dang, she's acting really childish about this. Like, take it. But it makes sense. Within the lore of Star Wars, it makes sense. You're not gonna.
It's honor. Also, Mandalorian has a lot of honor. That's the thing. They have a lot of honor, and they have to honor this. Like Mando honoring his code. I mean, he kind of left that over, but they have a lot of honor, and that's what makes them great bounty hunter. They have honor, so that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. But then we have the Dark Troopers, the Dark Troopers, walking in
with a little techno music.
We see that single X-wing
X-wing.
I'm gonna ask you, like, what did you think of that, or just seeing one X-wing? What was going through your head?
Okay, I was watching the Sid Harris theory, and he said it's so here's the thing. We all know that Luke drives the X-wing.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle doesn't, and I mentioned it. So many people said we might see Ezra. I said no, we're gonna see Ezra in Ahsoka, not in this show. He's with Tron, right. And that's literally the purpose of the Ahsoka show. It's probably going to be Ahsoka trying to get him back. And I'm gonna guess right after the Ahsoka show, we probably won't see like Ezra for a couple episodes. We're not gonna see him in the first episode. We're gonna see Ahsoka try to look for him, and then at one point in the show we'll see. Okay, so we see Land, and when Kara said, one X-ring, good, and I was like, wait, and then Star Series said, please don't give me hope. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then we see him walk out on a gray screen. We don't see who it is. We don't see the color of the lightsaber battle. And then we see a close shot of with a green lightsaber with the hand, the robot hand. I was like, that's Luke. I was crying the entire time. Yes, I was. I couldn't help myself because I saw Sarah Siri start crying, and that made me cry because again, I'm a huge fan of both, of course, of Luke and Sarah Siri and Star Wars himself. There were so many emotional, so many emotion going on at the same time. Just it was fan service all the way. Like Joe Favreau probably knew this, and I was surprised by the end of the episode. It was credited as Mark Hamill. Not Sebastian said, like I mentioned the other day. The CGI was not the best, but I don't give a fuck. We still got to look for last episode fan service, and yes, his mouth was a little bit off. That's what I forget. Like not the first time watching it, but I watched it the second time, and I noticed that his mouth was a little bit off. I mean, it's better than Rogue One, CGI face for Leia and what do you the guy name? Tucken. Better than those two CGI. I mean, Tucken was not bad, but Leia was finished. So what did you think? I mean, what did you think of the Luke appearance?
Personally, I'm a very emotional person when it comes to like nostalgic things. So
okay.
I see that X-wing and I see just the possible chance of Luke Skywalker. I was already tearing up, and seeing the hand, the lightsaber, the cloak, it got me. I was out for the count.
Yeah, it was so much.
And I couldn't see the CGI the first time I watched it.
Me too. That's what I think. The first time I didn't see CGI, but the second time, that's when I was like, it was so good. Going
back and watching it a bunch of times, I'm like, yeah, the CGI could have been better, but you know what? I don't care. We got Luke finally how he's supposed to be. This is not Jake Skywalker from The Last Jedi. We got Luke Skywalker.
And like I mentioned it before, they don't have the budget that the movie has. They have a limited budget for each episode, so they have to, they did it the best, and that was, so that was, and then R2 was a great. The R2 was a great action.
With R2D2, like great.
Luke is always R2 on this, so that was a nice touch to see R2, and again, here's what I love. In the entire show, we see 4 characters that we know. We see Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Luke, and R2. That's it. 4 characters we knew, and all the other characters are original characters. That's why this show works. Not like the Disney trilogy. There's original characters, new story to be added to this, and they didn't kill their character for no reason. I'm just saying. They kill Han Solo, they kill Leia, they kill Luke. So that was just so great to see. In that last episode, again, I think that was fully fan service. And of course, we get the really emotional goodbye from Grogu and Mando. That was so emotional, and I did mention it before. The shadowing when Luke Vader takes the helmet to see Luke in return, and and Mando takes his helmet for Grogu to see his face for the first time in the entire show. Such a nice callback. Like that was like a love letter to Star Wars fan. Like, there we go. You want it, you got it. That was just so good. What did you think of that? Of the last, scene of the when he takes his helmet off to Grogu.
I'm reminded of that one line, "Let me look on you with my own eyes," that Darth says to Luke, and now not saying but showing that from Din to Grogu, and Grogu touches his face, and it was just,
oh my god,
it was such a moment, and it honestly, it's the most touching moment in The Mandalorian so far for me.
Oh, definitely, by far, yes, definitely. I agree with that 100%.
Having R2 come in, I'm sorry, I went back to R2. It was so great. R2 was happy. Do you think you recognized him like Yoda?
That's what he mentioned. He probably recognized him because of Yoda. That's probably why he recognized him, honestly, yeah. Because he's a droid.
I saw memes on iFunny. It's R2 looking at baby or Grogu and like, if you hit me with a stick, you're going out the airlock.
Yes, yeah, because poor R2. I mean, yeah, poor R2. Yeah, so they probably, and also if you think about it, Mando doesn't see clearly with his helmet on. He sees in yellow. We did see some perspective from his helmet before, so I don't know if he ever took his helmet in front of front of Grogu, but if he didn't, that literally is the same thing as Jedi I mentioned. So I think that's what they were doing it for, and he never saw him without the helmet off. And man, that was such a touch moment. Man, I can't go to how take the Filoni. You just kill it, and I mean, it's not the end of the show; it's the end of the season. I keep saying the end of the show, but it's still season 3 coming, and then you have the Marshal, which take New Republic, which take place the same timeline, and you got Boba Fett, which is just so much coming. Oh my god, this is gonna be based in the hand. But listen, I'm not gonna bitch. We have more Star Wars, and I trust the Filoni, and I trust Jon Favreau for what he's doing with the Boba Fett and Ahsoka and Middle Season 3, and then New Republic. There's just so much coming. And then we got the end credit scene. I was surprised there was the end credit scene, honestly. I didn't see that coming. Boba Fett going back to kill Fortuna. Fuck this guy. I never loved him anyways. Who did, honestly? And to get back to the throne of Coruscant. What were your thoughts about that? And then we see the book of Boba Fett.
It definitely brought more into like the Star Wars Western-y type with your, I don't want to say Lone Ranger in the fact that like Lone Ranger series. I want to say Lone Ranger in the fact where he was just a lone guy coming in here, blasting up the place, taking no crap. And it was just, it was really nice. He comes in, shoots up people. Bib Fortuna's like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I thought you were dead." Boba Fett's like, "You didn't even help me back then. I'm gonna shoot you now." So he shoots him, sits down, and he's like,
"Fuck yeah, I'm the boss now." That was such a nice scene. And I mentioned the World War Fett just came out in December 2021. So what I hear from Jon Favreau himself, and we did talk about the kid from Gorman America. They are in production for Boba Fett. As soon as they're done, they're going to be starting production for Mando Season 3. So I'm guessing that we're going to get the book of Boba Fett in December 2021, and hopefully Mando Season 3 is not far after this. I don't know exactly when. I mean, it's still in a year, so we have to wait a year to get this show on. Again, I think it's gonna be worth the wait. We're still gonna get Tamara Morrissey's coming back, and Min now when it's coming back too, and it's gonna be executive producer by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Robert Rodriguez. So they're back. They're back. So, I mean, listen, it's probably gonna be guessing that we're probably gonna see Mando in that season. I think that's safe to say. Some point, maybe not every episode, but at least. And then most likely see Boba Fett back in season 3 of Mando. I hope, because I want to see more Boba Fett because I'm happy he's back.
And the more shows we have going on, it's. I hope they don't get too big like the CW shows did with the DC universe. because it was cool to a point where they were able to do crossovers, but then they started getting lazy with them. So I really hope they don't get lazy and they keep up that great
Yes,
storytelling.
because
And
I don't want to get my hype too high. I don't want to get my hope too high. I really
right.
don't. I want to stay safe. I mean, I did for this season, and I was not wrong about it. I mean, I knew this season it was going to be good. Jon Favreau actually understands Star Wars better than JJ and Ryan Johnson. I'm going to say this right off the top. He really does. Same with Dave Filoni, of course, he's having him this show too. I really hope that one day either John or Dave Filoni becomes director or whatever of the Lucasfilm. I think John deserved it after those 2 seasons. I know there's still like a year until Kennedy is gone. We all can't wait for her to just get out of there because I don't want to hate on the lady. I know she worked with Josh on the original Star Wars or whatever, but just she has to go. I mean, everything has started in hand, and for her to stay in for her career for Lucasfilm, so she can just leave. So that'd be great. All right. So now so while you were doing you mentioned every episode and every not episode every show, and we'll talk about the show really quick. So you say you want to talk about them, so let's start.
So let's start off with the more more mystery ones like Visions, Star Wars Visions. That's going to be like your kind of anime-ish Star Wars.
Yes, I was
interesting.
anime.
It says it's going to celebrate Star Wars. So does that mean we're getting some scenes from like the movies and the TV shows more animated? Or are we getting something completely new? I would love to see both, honestly. I mean, I assume you've seen the anime openings for Star Wars.
Yeah. Yes, that would be amazing. Yes. It's from the world best Japanese anime creators.
Mm-hmm.
World best anime. Now I do watch anime. I do watch. I guess mentioned. I watch Naruto. I do watch Dragon Ball. I grew up watching anime, so So I'll be able to judge what to do with Star Wars when it comes to anime because I grew up watching anime, so I could judge him for this. I mean, listen, like I said to you earlier, Mandalorian, they brought us so many stuff that was original. If they do this with this show, which is bringing new stories, I mean, yes, they can still do some callback. Like again, like Mando, you got callback characters, you got callback from the other movies. But if they can keep it original, but still doing some callback there and there, like Mando did, I think that's a nice opportunity. We're getting finally get some. And I appreciate you seeing the Star Wars anime opening on YouTube. If Cyrus had an anime opening, which I love it. So is it gonna be like this? I don't know. I'm excited because I love anime again, and if we're turning this into Star Wars, that's a completely different. We've never seen before, except for the Clone Wars and Rebels. No, those are not anime; those cartoon. But I'm excited for this. What do you think about that?
If we saw something like just one-off, just like little stories that happened in between the movies or something like that, like little one-offs, like Anakin being trained by Obi-Wan, like just in the first couple of days of him being
Yes,
trained, that would be kind of cool.
that'd be really cool. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. The droid story. A droid story.
Oh, Joyce.
That
Yes,
one
Anthony
they
Daniels
have
coming
not been
back to
able
play
to
C-3PO. Thank God.
That's I can't wait. I can't wait to see some droids. It's kind of like how R2 and 3PO had their own little TV show back in the day. I don't know if you've ever seen it
Yes.
or yeah,
I saw the trailer and that was enough. I know like there was
yeah,
not
exactly.
fights.
I
Yeah,
kind of
it's
hope
like
we get something kind of like that, not gonna lie. Next moving on, the Acolyte. The Acolyte is going to be about the dark side of the Force popping up within the last few days of the era of the High Republic.
are we talking
That's
about the
gonna be
Old Republic or like are we talking about the Old Republic or like the Republic from my Revenge of the Sith?
so we were talking about Disney came out with a new Star Wars pre thing. It's not the Old Republic. It's called the High Republic. I haven't looked much into it. I
Okay,
haven't really.
I mean I don't know much about it too, so like okay, I honestly forgot that was a thing. So
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see.
yes,
I'm just
definitely.
hoping they do it well. I don't have. If there's one thing I don't have high hopes for on this list, it's going to be the Acolyte. I'm gonna say. But
Yeah.
let's not get
Wow.
into politics of that and everything.
Yeah.
Next, let's move on to Lando. Lando, that's going to be an interesting thing. Now, is that going to be more Billy D. Williams, or is that going to be more? I forget who played him in.
Donald Glover. I think they said during the expo it was gonna be Donald Glover, and it's gonna be animated, just like it's gonna be like a cartoon-ish, but it's still gonna be Donald Glover. Now I'm gonna mention this, and I don't care about the haters. I loved Lando and Solo. I really did. Donald Glover did such a good job. You can a young Billy D. Williams, like honestly, I mean, Billy was not old when he did the first Star Wars. I mean, he's still 81. He was like, I think he was the oldest of the cast back then. Anyways, I love Gilligan's Lando. I really did. I think that was my favorite part of Solo, honestly. So I'm excited to see that back.
He expertly took on Billy D. Williams's.
Yes.
And if you listen to them, there are some points where you can't tell a difference. It's just amazing. He did a fantastic.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit of both. We get some stories with a younger Lando,
they could do both.
Stories with an older Lando. I would be totally on board with that.
Because the Anna Russell's character, when we see Lando with his daughter, it's probably his daughter. I don't think that's a surprise. So we could have story there. We could also have story maybe between Solo and A New Hope. That could be a story right there too. What he did between those two, and I mean, listen, if they both appear on the show, just bring it on. I mean, I love them both. I mean, they're both like this. Like they're like son and father, honestly. Like the way they play each other. Well, I mean, like don't ever play Lando.
Animated. There is no way they would not have both of them in there.
Exactly, it's just voice. You just have to sit down and do your voice. I mean, I know Billy Dwayne is old now. He's 81 years old. I know he didn't do much in Russell's character, but he could do the voice. He did the voice for Bells. There was some scene with Lando, but he went over and did the voiceover for that. So he could do that for that show if they decide to do both versions, which I hope they do.
Let's move on to Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron, that's going to be a movie directed by Patty Jenkins, who did the first and second Wonder Woman movie. Wonder Woman 2 coming out Christmas Day. I'm so excited to see that. Probably, unfortunately, won't be in theaters. Pennsylvania has been shut down.
Oh, our theater's been shut down the entire time, so I'm gonna have to watch it on HBO. I have no choice. I tell them to buy HBO, or I can find if I can find online for free, I would. If I can, I'm gonna have to buy HBO for like a month or whatever how that works because honestly, I want to watch.
I think I'm gonna go with the HBO just to support it, honestly, because that's a movie I want to support no matter what. So we'll see what happens. But that's gonna be kind of like Rogue Squadron, an X-wing squadron of pilots. It's kind of going to be like a Top Gun meets Star Wars. It's going to be really cool. Now, I personally haven't played the Rogue Squadron, or not Rogue Squadron, just Star Wars Squadrons video game. I've been waiting until I can get VR.
I played like the first like 4 hours of it because I didn't buy it, but I had what's it called? EA Now, which is basically you get the EA games for free, and you had a 5 hours trial for a Squadron. I played the first 4 hours of the campaign. It's an original. No, on a video game, it's original characters, original story. You play two sides. You play the Empire and the New Republic. On a New Republic, you're a woman pilot. On the Empire, you're a man pilot, and basically you play both sides as you fight each other. I don't know what the movie's gonna be about. I don't think they'll follow the video game because video game was like an original story by itself, and I don't think they're just gonna go over that and just do a movie about that. Even though the game was great, it's not like Anyways, we'll see. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm excited, I guess. Because if it's like Top Gun and Top Gun 2 is coming this year, next year with Tom Cruise, of course, and I'm used to Top Gun, of course, the original double high fire. So we'll wait to see what happens.
Okay, after Rogue Squadron, we have Andor, the Cassian Andor series, being directed by the guy that plays Cassian Andor.
Yes.
I have to assume this is going to be taking place before Rogue One. I mean,
Yeah, because they all died.
Survived, but you know what? I'm really excited to see this. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna see the robot back. I forgot his name. We're gonna see. I forgot his name. I love him. We all love him in Rogue One. We're gonna see him back. What's his name to robot in Rogue One? I forgot his name. I feel bad because I love him so much. Can you show really quick? I forgot his name and I feel bad. I feel so bad.
The actor or the
character name
for that? Oh, Cassian Andor.
No, the robot, like the funny robot. I forgot his name, and I feel so bad. I love him.
We better see that robot in this show.
Oh, like, I think we definitely will, because that was like the best part of robot.
K2SO.
Yes. K2SO. Yes, thank you. Yeah, he was a good character.
It's gonna be really interesting. There's a teaser up on YouTube right now, so if anybody hasn't watched that, definitely that's a good thing to go and watch.
Yeah.
Moving up, we have Ahsoka. The Ahsoka show.
I'm gonna call it a Rebel live action. Basically, that's what we're gonna get. I'm gonna guess Sabine's gonna be in there. Tron, Ezra, all those girls gonna be in there. I don't know what to think about this, because when I saw Ahsoka and it was a 5 minute, I knew we were gonna get season. They're not gonna throw us down for one episode and we're done with this character, because Dave Filoni is not crazy. He knows how popular the character Ahsoka is, and also among women around the world. And I love, when you look towards women in Star Wars, Ahsoka is the first one that I think of. Not Rey. Sorry, Padme and Leia, of course, but Ahsoka's up there. She has such a big character development between the first movie of Clone Wars all the way by the end of Rebels, and of the most recent season of Clone Wars. I can't wait. I'm a huge fan of Ahsoka. I think we all are. How can you hate her? I mean, when you start watching the show, you hate her. I did hate her when I started watching the show, but as more you watch it, you're like, I love that character. She's a badass.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember my father taking me to go see the Clone Wars movie whenever it had come out in the theaters, and
I still have it on TV. I had it since 2008.
Not gonna lie, I didn't like her character. I thought she was annoying.
She was annoying in the movie. That's true. Yeah, she was.
But seeing her grow up through the Clone Wars and through Rebels and now in the Mandalorian, she's really become a respectable Jedi. Very wise. And I watched a video on YouTube. I can't remember who made it, but I watched a video on YouTube and how that was all part of the plan. It was part of the plan to hate her.
Yeah. I think I might have saw that too, honestly. I think I might have saw that too. Yeah, it was part of, I think I did see that. If I'm not, was it maybe Star Theory that uploaded that?
It was possibly. I don't quite remember.
Because I know he uploads a lot of videos around terror rating. He's talking about stuff that we never thought we would have talked about. He just mentioned it in his videos. So maybe I'll check it out if it was him or not. I'll check it after.
Then the Bad Batch. Oof.
Okay, so Clone Wars. This is basically Clone Wars season 8. I'm just going to mention this. Basically, Clone Wars season 8. It's going to be the same. When they announced a Bad Batch back, when Clone Wars was still coming out, they announced it early this year, and I was excited. I loved the Bad Batch in that. They're all lovable characters, except for Wrecker. I love Wrecker. So I don't know why people hate on Wrecker. Why? He was the big funny guy that didn't give a shit. He just went for the kills. When they mentioned
in TF2.
Yeah, they're all. The sniper guy was fucking awesome too. And then we had Rambo in here too. Rambo, kind of looked like Rambo. When they announced the show, I thought it was gonna take place before we see them in season 2 Clone Wars, but no, it's gonna take place after we see them until Order 66. And I think, I don't know if you was you that mentioned that they're probably gonna run away from the Empire. which I think is good, and they have to kill their brothers, like Rex did, which was really sad to see. And I hope that we see them all the way, surviving Order 666, most likely, because they're not going to turn against Jedi because they don't have the chip, because they're not like other clones. And in the show we see talking to like the same one from Clone Wars season 4 in the Citadel, where they went and saved I've heard named of they'll do that looks like Yoda. I'm excited for the show really much. I hope that we get more Anakin and more Obi-Wan. I'm probably should Anakin or Darth Vader in that TV show. I hope Mandalorian comes back. Even James Arnold could come back to Obi-Wan. We could get a lot of voice actors, but I'm happy to see Tom Kane coming back to do no Tom Kane. Who does the voice of the clones again? No, is it? That's not Tom Kane. It's what's his name? That does the voice of the clones. Troy Baker. Yeah, Troy Baker. Yeah, I'm happy to see him back because he had so many lines in the Clone Wars. Like he had every single clone, the background conversation, every clone. He had so many voice lines in the Clone Wars. So, is it Troy Baker? I think it is.
It was D. Bradley Baker.
Thank you. Wait, who did Troy Baker did? No, Troy Baker's son in there. What am I talking about? Troy Baker's son in there. Oh my god! And I know Tom Kane does the voice of the announcer, and then Admiral. The Admiral was always with Anakin. That's what Tom Kane does. He does Yoda too. There we go. He does Yoda too. I'm really excited for that patch. What about you? What do you expect for that show for Clone Wars season 8, basically?
Honestly, I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know much about it, but hey. If we're going to get a show that's more Clone Wars with a group of soldiers that are different, but I mean the episodes that we got of the Bad Batch in Clone Wars season 7, I feel like that was a great trailer for what we're about to see, and I can't wait.
I can't wait for that. It's gonna be again more Clone Wars. More fun, and I enjoy Clone Wars. I grew up with it, so same was canceled in 2013. We waited 7 years to know that Echo was alive. They made us suffer for 7 years. We thought he was dead. They better bring 5 back from the dead. Echo died. If 5 did die, but can they bring him back from the dead? Would that be really nice to see? I miss 5. He got killed by his own brother. Because he knew Palpatine playing all along. That was just dude, nice. What is next?
I can't believe I wanted to talk about this one earlier. Rangers of the New Republic. I forgot about this one.
Character coming, Dune character coming back. Hopefully we'll see that Korean clone rebel that we've seen in, I think it was episode. We seen him episode 2 when he saved Mando. I think we're going to see him in that show because and then Dave Filoni, of course, I forgot his name, but the guy that was there was 2 when Manu got saved by 2 X-wings. There was Dave Filoni and another rebel.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I could see us seeing more of that guy.
Yeah, because he made Dune the new Marshal in that so whatever. So, is she still a Marshal because she did kind of like she took the guy from the prison.
I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I feel like that would be a legitimate thing that they would be allowed to do if they needed to help the Republic.
Yes.
So I hope we get to see a lot more of her backstory. To be honest.
Yes, because they did mention Mandalorian.
There's so much story there. There's so much that needs unpacked from her past, from Alderaan, from everything like that. I really hope we see more of that. Then the final one, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, so you remember what I meant? I think it was like episode 4 or 3. We talked about it because it was like announced, or it wasn't official, but it was a leak. And I did say that, and I said Aiden Christian could come back, and Ewan McGregor, of course, no meter. But now we know that Aiden Christian is going to play Darth Vader. So we're going to see Darth Vader in that show. And he's also going to play flashbacks of them in the Clone Wars. So that means we're gonna get more live action Clone Wars. Well, I mean, Rebels is not gonna be Clone Wars, but still, it's those characters we had in Clone Wars, whatever. Now we're gonna see more Clone Wars live action, and I'm hoping for a live action Rex. The only clone I want to see live action is Rex. Just even with the helmet on, I don't care. I just want to see the armor in live action. That'd be fucking cool. I did see some people that dressed as Rex on before, and it looks amazing. So I'm hoping for this. I hope more memes. More memes. I mean, that's what I can say.
Oh man, I'm just hoping they do it right. To be quite honest,
that's the thing. That's it. We're talking about Disney there. We're not talking about we're talking about Disney. So we don't know until it comes out.
About Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni. They're not a part of it. So it's kind of like, well, let's hope for the best.
But I'm really excited because again, it's gonna be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So Obi-Wan's gonna be about he is in his 40s, early early 50s, or I knew that Ewan McGregor is 50 years old now. So and then they joke about like him being close to like Guinness when he did Star Wars, of course. And have you seen that deep fake video? Like Ewan looks just like Alec Guinness with the beard on and everything. It's crazy. Like they actually look at each other. So we're gonna see. I'm excited to see Obi-Wan back. I think Ewan back. We all are because he was definitely the best. He was the best part of the sequel, hands down. Like hands down, best part of those trilogy. Like he was the best. And my favorite was still Qui-Gon Jinn. Now I hope that we get some cameo. We could get some voice cameo from Qui-Gon Jinn because if you think about it, Obi-Wan did train to go as in the Force Ghost between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Because in the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda said that he found a path, and Qui-Gon was the first one to learn that, and then he taught it to Yoda, and he probably taught it to Obi-Wan himself. So I hope that we see some Liam Neeson cameo, voice cameo in that show. I think we could. I mean, if we see him train for that, because he did train for that between the Revenge and New Hope. That's 10 years after. Maybe it'll be in his end of his training. Maybe we'll see a Force go with Qui-Gon. I don't know, but I just want like a quick Liam Neeson because I love Qui-Gon. I think he's my favorite Jedi, and of course Obi-Wan, but I just love him so much. And do you think we'll maybe get a cameo for Liam Neeson in that show?
If we get a cameo, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be voice only.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There was some part of Star Wars canon that Qui-Gon Jinn was able to return as a Force ghost, but in voice only. He was not able to make a physical appearance, except for one planet, because the Force was very, very strong there, which was why he was able to.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess only time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, it's very exciting.
He's very excited. And I want to finish with the best thing. Happy birthday again to Samuel Jackson. You're the go to Star Wars. You're the one to purple lightsaber, which I think is hilarious. Honestly, the story behind this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna end the episode here. I'm gonna let you like a week or two, whatever, how long you need to try to watch all because they did announce 10 Marvel shows and stuff like that. So this one was Star Wars only because maybe we'll just end. We can talk about the Star Wars show. So next episode, if we can, like I said, me, you, Maddie, and Haley on in one episode, I think it'll be really cool. Again, we have to find a schedule where all four of us are not busy, which will be a little hard, but we'll try to do our best for this. Next episode will probably be all the Marvel shows because there's a lot that were announced. And there's a lot of cast that changed and everything. I mean, like the in-game the girl that plays Scott Lang, Ant-Man daughter, that would change. The Chadwick Boseman will not be recast. I knew it. I call it. I'm so happy to decide to not recast him. It's his legacy, nobody else. I think there's gonna be like Killmonger back from the dead. That they can do that, and he with the new Black Panther. I'll be okay with that. Just being a good guy.
To be quite honest, I feel like his sister would be the new Black Panther.
In the comics, he is. In the comics, Shuri is the Black Panther in one of the comics. I never read it myself, but I know she becomes. I think there's a comic just about that, about her becoming Black Panther. I don't know what AMC gonna do. Whatever they do, I know that Ryan Coogler is gonna do a good job because he did a good job for the first Black Panther. And he's not gonna let us on the say. So if you guys have any question, let us know in the comments, of course. And I want to mention really quick. I didn't mention it. So earlier I told you I had 91,000 views when we did the first part. I want to let you know I had 103,000 views. So I want to thank you everybody around the world. Thank you for 100,000 views. I'm gonna do a proper video about it, but I just want to thank you so much for it. I got like 50,000 views in that 30 days. I don't know where those views came from, but they just appear on my channel. Thank you so much for 100,000, a total of 100,000 views. It really feels amazing. And we got like, I think today we had like 30 subscribers just today. Thank you so much. And so we're gonna end the episode here. Next nerd talk will be about like I just mentioned, about Norval. And I just want to mention that this most likely going to be one last video for the holidays. Of course, I'm going to be in my girlfriend's holidays thing. We're gonna enjoy ourselves and everything. You know, it's gonna be holidays. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna be busy too. But at the holidays, so next episode will come out will probably be after the holidays. Because again, we want to enjoy ourselves during the holidays. And I'm probably gonna do some streams, but probably won't because I just want to enjoy myself and just take a break from YouTube for like a week or two because, yeah, I just can't stand. As always, I'll drop Matthew Instagram in the comments if you want to go to follow him. He does really nice cosplay. And he's currently working on a secret project. I'm not gonna mention what you're doing because you told me. I don't know if you told other people, but trust me, if you guys go follow him when he's finished, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth the thing. A little Easter egg, a little hint. It's from Star Wars, but I'll tell you exactly what it is. So thank you guys for watching. That was the really honor. Thanks for coming back to the show. Really appreciate it.
Would I be able to show a little bit of it?
What?
Might I show a little bit of what
yes, if you want, yes, go ahead. You can show people. So here's a little Easter egg, I guess, if you want to call it Easter egg, or like a hint to what it is. So if you want to guess, if you want to try to get us a comment, and whoever guesses right will win our respect, so which is something that I really give to people. I'm joking. Yes. Thank you guys for watching the episode. Thank you for coming back, Matthew. Of course, I just want to mention, even though I invite people to the show, it's still going to be my and Matthew's show. We started the show, it's our show. If there's other people that come to the show, they're just guests to the show. Me and Matthew are always going to be the hosts, or we're going to do us two together, or other guests. But just want to mention, it's still our show. We created. Nobody else going to take over Matthew. Nobody's going to take over me. There were just guests, and I just wanted to do more. And I know you're busy. I fully understand that, and you're forgiven. Well, you don't have to deserve for that, but yeah. So I think that is. Oh, do you have anything to add before we end the episode?
Nothing here. I think we covered it.
We covered the entire stuff. There was so much they mentioned. Again, they mentioned so much more than I thought they would. Thank you, Disney. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Thank you, Jon Favreau. Thank you, David Rosen, and Pedro Pascal, and the entire start of the Mandalorian. Came with season 3. We'll talk about season 3 next episode because we have to end it here. I want you to, by the next episode, I want you to think what you think is going to happen in season 3 because anything could happen at this point. So I want you to try to think what is going to happen here. And I know we didn't talk about the book of Boba Fett, but we don't know nothing about this. We really don't. They just mentioned the actors, so Boba Fett's coming back. So that's why we didn't talk about it. We just know it's coming this mid 2021. So that's all we know. It's called the book of Boba Fett. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like video. You want to subscribe, you can go ahead if you want to. Again, go ahead and link in the description to Matthew's Instagram, of course, as always. And if you guys want to see more, leave a like, of course. And let us comment if you have any question. If you want to guess what Matthew's working on, go ahead and comment, try to guess. If you do guess, we'll make you win something. I mean, you have one guess, don't do multiple guesses. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys later. Peace. Thanks for watching.